Hello everyone and welcome to another video. This video is about the 10 designer fragrances that I own in my collection that I would keep and I would toss the rest out. So really this video is just all about choices. Now, thank you for everyone who tagged me to do this video. I've been kind of scrounging for time, so sorry I didn't get to it sooner, but here I am with the video and let's see what fragrances that I will go ahead and choose. Now, I just have two really quick disclaimers before I actually get started. One is that, yes, these are the fragrances that I'm choosing. I'm not saying that they're the best fragrances out there, but of the fragrances that I own, these are the 10 that I'm going to go ahead and choose just because these are the ones that I like. These are the ones that suit me the best. And, you know, if they work for you, all the more power, but these are my fragrances that I'm going ahead and choosing. Now, the second thing that I want to go ahead and mention is that these are not in a top 10 list as far as the top 10 ranked 1 through 10. They're just 10 fragrances. I'm going to have them labeled, you know, 1 through 10, and we'll go on for there. And, you know, don't want to go into the whole ranking of them. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. The first fragrance is one that's been around for quite a bit, and that is from the house of TERRE MUGLER, Pure Malt. Pure Malt for me is a fantastic fragrance. I like it because it's got that sweet booziness, but at the same time, it's kind of got the maturity of the patchouli that kind of comes into it, as well as a little bit of a chocolate type of a vibe. Now, I really liked the original Angelman, and the original Angelman was this polarizing fragrance that kind of came out. But Pure Malt was really the fragrance that kind of dragged the whole Mugler line into the mainstream of the fragrance community, if you will. And I've loved this fragrance ever since. I generally like most of the flankers of the Pure series, but this one really stands out and is the first one that I would go ahead and keep in my collection. So yes, first one up, Pure Malt from TERRE MUGLER. Now the next fragrance on the list is from the house of Hermes. It's Tel de Hermes, the white top, so it's the Eau Fraiche version. Man, it's the fresh version. This one, I expressed my love for it when I first, you know, kind of got it and, you know, told you guys about it, and it was just absolutely magical. I want you to imagine the original Tel de Hermes, so it's got that earthiness, that ozony, that, you know, free and airy type of a vibe to it, and you add, you know, a sharp citrus to it. You add the lemon and this, oh man, it's just absolutely fantastic. This one, staple for spring for me. I can't envision any spring, any, you know, warm weather time without this fragrance at this point. So of course, gonna take this one along as well too. So the second fragrance on the list is the flanker of TERRE Hermes, Eau Fraiche version. Now the third fragrance on the list is another flanker as well. This one is a flanker of ACQUA DIOR. We're talking about ACQUA DIOR Profumo. Now Profumo, ACQUA DIOR was always a great fragrance. Universally loved, you know, very clean, well presented, lemon lime, you know, you've got this nice lemon vibe that's coming to it, and it's just universally known, copied to death. What Profumo does to the original one is it adds a spiciness tinge, and I love spicy fragrances in general. This one, it's got a really clean, presented, spicy presentation, one that I can almost wear in almost any time that I can actually think of. And the way that it does citrus and the way that it does it is just absolutely magical on that. So the third one on the list, of course, ACQUA DIOR Profumo. Now the fourth on the list is a little bit of an oldie on the fragrance community, if you will. It is from the house of Dior, Dior Homme Intense. Now, I have always loved Dior Homme Intense. It started off with a little bit of trepidation though. I mean, I started off and I remember people describing the fragrance to me and they're like, man, you gotta try this fragrance. It smells a lot like lipstick. And I was like, why would I possibly like that? And then I got my hands on the fragrance and the rest is the story. This is just a really smooth vibe. It's a great winter and fall fragrance, a great cold weather fragrance, one that really cuts through other smells and really just announces that you're there. And so I really just like wearing this one, especially when, you know, kind of dressed up a little bit more, and those are the type of scenarios that I'll like to wear this one. So definitely, and this is not the Parfum version. Parfum version, pretty good as well too, but I actually prefer the original. So Dior Homme Intense. Now the fifth fragrance on the list is a fall staple. It's a fall staple, but man, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I can't really imagine ever getting rid of this fragrance, and it is Boss Bottled Boss number 6. There are other fragrances that do what Boss Bottled does. One of the ones that comes to mind is like the Yves Saint Laurent fragrance L'Homme, for example. Many fragrances go and do the same thing that this one is. I'm not even saying that this one was the first to do it, but the way that it does it, it just clicks with me. It just vibes with me. And you can see that I've used a considerable amount, and every fall that this actually comes up, I'm looking for that apple pie goodness that's coming from this bottle. It's got a nice sweet scent, very well put together, very casual at the same time, and it just really works for me. So Boss Bottled number 6 is on the list. Now this next fragrance is one that I blind bought. It's from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. It is M7. Now M7 is one that, again, I blind bought it. I didn't completely know what it smelled like, but believe it or not, I stepped out on a limb mainly because of the way that the bottle looks. I thought that it was clean, well presented, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and give this fragrance a try. And I ended up getting the original formulation, and wow, what a fragrance. This is oud done right. This is a wearable oud. This is something that is dark, it's mysterious, it's just well put together. It's something that I like to wear, you know, out to bars. I like to wear it, you know, when I don't want to be screaming and shouting necessarily, but I want it to be, you know, just laying in the cut basically, and just, you know, just relaxing and chilling. This is where I wear this fragrance, and man, I don't ever want to, you know, be apart with this fragrance. It's just fantastic. So the original Yves Saint Laurent's M7. Now the next fragrance we have is another fragrance from YSL that I absolutely adore, and that is Night of the Man, L'Homme, La Nuit de l'Homme. Whew. La Nuit de l'Homme, what can be said about this fragrance that hasn't been said already? You know, I'm not blowing smoke up your guys' ass. I love this fragrance. I still always have loved this fragrance, and it's just a fantastic fragrance for the night out. And the fact that it's so easily accessible as a designer, so many people and so many companies are trying to, you know, copy it, if you will. It's just a magnificent fragrance and an excellent night out fragrance. Now, I've tended to start moving toward a little bit towards other fragrances, but that really hasn't diminished my love for this fragrance. And it's just, you know, that spiciness, that little bit of lavender. Oh man, it's just fantastic. So Night of the Man, La Nuit de l'Homme. Now next on the list is from the house of Chanel. It is Chanel's Allure Homme Edition Blanche. A lot of these fragrances, now that I come to think of it, you can usually see on my top lists for the spring, fall, and summer, things like that. And this one almost always heads up the spring. This was really the first citrusy, creamy fragrance that I fell in love with, and for good reason. I can't get enough of this one. I don't want to necessarily try the reformulation of it, just because I'm almost sure that to the degree that I like this fragrance, I highly doubt that the reformulation is going to be able to match that. So I have been gently using this one because I don't ever want to run out of this one. And yeah, I don't see myself without it. So Allure Homme Edition Blanche. 9 on the list is from the house of Express. And you probably know what it is, Express Reserve. For the life of me, I keep just singing the praises to the heavens for this one. It's the original formulation, the dark color juice, and I have always loved this one. It's got this bourbon, this whiskey type of a scent that kind of comes along with it. It's really well put together, well blended, and it's just nice, clean, professional, and it just really symbolizes kind of what it was like for me, you know, starting my professional career, you know, working those long hours and, you know, heading to the bar afterwards with friends, co-workers, and it was just, this really reminds me, if you can say, of my, I guess you could say my 20s, basically. It's really, it holds a special place in my heart for that, and I just still love this fragrance to death, still like to wear this for nostalgia, and I can't imagine my fragrances without it. So of that 10, Express Reserve is in this one. And the last one that I can't, you know, imagine going without is from the house of Guerlain. It's Vetiver Frozen. Work fragrance through and through. This is vetiver, but at the same time, it's not like a dirty vetiver scent. So it's more of a citrusy vetiver, so it retains that professionalism, but at the same time it's got this playfulness that's coming from the citrus that is just magical on my skin. Love wearing it to work. It exudes, it helps me exude a lot of confidence with this one, and I really can't imagine it with anything without it, basically. So Vetiver Frozen. So those are my 10 fragrances that I would keep and toss the rest away. So, you know, I actually like doing videos like that just because it's a really nice time to just reflect, if you will, on the fragrances that I have and what I would have. And it actually comes at a good time just because I was actually gathering up a whole ton of fragrances and getting ready to just mass sell them off in one huge batch. I can't stand selling them one at a time. And it just happened to come at a good time for that. So yeah, very interesting. Now, as far as who as I'm going to tag, I actually haven't been keeping up within the fragrance community over who's done what, who hasn't done what. And so I'm asking you, if you're a viewer and you've watched this video, please feel free, do a top 10 with it. Let me know about it, or let us know down in the comments, and we'll go ahead and check out that video. So yeah, so thank you for Ryan specifically for recommending me to do this, as well as a ton of other people who actually message me to do it separately and things like that. But yes, so definitely thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.